You, as you've probably guessed, have given us all the Friday feels today. How does it feel to you? 30 years. I can't believe it's 30 years
It's incredible.
since Clueless. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, it's impossible to say because it's been a part of my life, obviously, since the beginning. But I do feel like there's something super special about the 30th. And I don't know, it's like something for me personally. I feel like I really started to just embody that this film has really impacted people in a truly positive way that does not seem to be going away. So it feels pretty special.
And it is amazing that it's not just, you know, every decade, every big milestone. People are celebrating Clueless on a yearly, monthly basis. We just love it. It's a timeless classic. You, of course, played Amber in the movie. She was very fashion-forward. Tell us, what was the audition process like for the role?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was my first film, so I was petrified. And I had to go through many hoops. The first audition was at the casting director's office, Marsha Ross, who is an incredibly brilliant casting director. And so that was scary for me, but she was lovely. And then I had to go back and read for Marsha again with Twink Kaplan, one of the producers. Then I read for Twink and Amy, the director, and Marsha. And then finally I had to go to Paramount. And the Paramount lot is it's just beautiful. It's like an old Hollywood, really regal sort of studio. So the whole lot was intimidating. I was petrified. All I remember of that was being very scared of Scott Rudin and and feeling like it was this dark, scary room, which I'm sure it was not. But and Amy and Twink were so kind to me. They are really kind of disarmingly approachable. You know, they were so kind and so warm. And then I left, and then they called, and I had the job.
I love that. I mean, it sounds like quite the process, quite an arduous process, I'm guessing, for a young actor. Do you remember the first time when the movie eventually came out? Do you remember your first time actually sitting down to watch it, and how did that feel at the time?
Yes. So a few of us went to what's called a test screening, where they bring in a test audience of the right age, you know, the target age audience. And so Alicia, Paul, Donald, Brecken wasn't there, Justin and I all went, and we sat in the back row of this theater. And I went from the first second of the movie, I was like, oh, this is really good. And at the end of it, I looked at Alicia and I said, you're going to be really famous. Like, this is really good, you know? And the audience was immediately so responsive. You know, they do those screenings literally as a test to see, okay, do we need to change this? Do we need to edit things? Is this going to, like, when should we release it? Is it going to be a success? And it felt like that first time I saw it, I went, oh, this is great.
And did you know that? Did you have that feeling when you were making it, or is it just like you can't tell?
This is going to be big. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's so hard to say because, again, I was so nervous. It was my first movie, so I just wanted to make sure I was getting it right and I was doing a good job. And, you know, the funny thing is, in retrospect, I went onto that set going, oh, wow, okay, this is how movies are. Women direct them. Women run everything. Everybody's great at their job. It's perfectly cast. The script is brilliant. Every department is amazing. And that's what it is to make movies.
If it could only be like that all the time.
All the time. All the time. Yeah, of course I realized over the years, it's not always quite that special.
Listen, a girl can dream. But Alyssa, obviously with an iconic movie comes iconic lines, and you had a few of them. So let's take a look at this.
Whatever. Did I miss something? This big hair back? Amber, my plastic surgeon doesn't want me doing any activity where balls fly at my nose.
Well, there goes your social life.
Brilliant. We just heard some iconic lines there. You must get these quoted back to you all the time if you're out and about.
I do. I really do, which is sort of continually astonishing to me after all of these years, but I really do. And I have to admit, a little fun fact. The balls flying at my nose, when we were shooting the film, I didn't get the joke. And then there was a certain moment when I went,
What's the joke?
Oh,
What is the joke?
What
I
joke?
get it. I had the light bulb moment in the middle and I went, oh, I get it now.
Well, does your daughter know how cool you are? Has she watched the movie?
I mean, listen, anybody who has kids, especially 13, all we're looking for is for ways to be cool to them. And it's really difficult to challenge on a regular basis. But I think she kind of knows. I think she sort of thinks I'm cool. That her friends know. So all of her friends had seen the movie before she did, and so I finally let her watch it. My husband had also never seen it, so they watched it about 6 months ago, and she loved it and said, you were really funny, you were really good. The one thing she said was, she said, I don't understand why nobody knew that the Christian character was gay. She said, I knew he was gay the second he was on the
You
screen.
see? There you go. That's called progress.
That's progress,
that is
exactly.
progress. I love it as well because you really know, as if there was any doubt with Clueless, but you've become such a part of popular culture when at Halloween you see people dressing up as characters from Clueless. That must be kind of weird to you when you see it, right? Characters dressed up as your character from the movie.
Yes, it is very odd. It is weird. And I just hope, Donald's daughter, oh, yes, I remember this too. Donald's daughter dressed up like Dion one year too. And I think, that's easier for him than, say, if my daughter wanted to dress as Amber. It's all bizarre. She has not wanted to, because I think she still feels like I'm not, I'm cool, but I'm not that cool, So.
Well, did you get to keep any of the wardrobe?
No. So everyone,
Sacrilege.
It's funny. We just did an event at the Academy of Motion Pictures, and Alicia, they asked us that question, and Alicia said, yes, I kept all of them, but I don't really know where they are. And I said, what? You kept them all and you don't know where they are now? And we were laughing in hysterics, like imagining, people just like them in a dumpster somewhere or something. But I was not allowed to keep any. It was a very strict policy that Paramount, their wardrobe department is vast.
They
and
keep it
immense,
all.
and
It's in the
not
archives.
allowed.
Now, listen, Clueless aside, we also want to talk to you about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because both myself and Katya are massive fans.
Sabrina.
You, of course, played Morgan. How was that? What was that experience
Yes.
like?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I always say this, Melissa Joan Hart is like a unicorn. She's so normal in the best way for having grown up in the business the way that she has. She just works really hard. That was like a family. It was super fun. And I loved it. It was great.
Well,
So much fun.
we're also doing a massive 90s throwback right now, but you also appeared in an NSYNC video for their song Thinking of You. You even got to slap Joey, got to touch his face.
Yes.
I was going to say, we all wanted to slap
We all wanted
Joey.
to do that.
Yes. They had done an episode of Clueless, the TV series, and that's how I met them. And we became friends and, we'd go out and things. And so, so then that's how I got involved in the music video. And I think that we shot I think it was called Drive Myself Crazy, maybe?
Yes,
That's
it's called Thinking of You, I Drive Myself Crazy, yeah.
Yes.
We
Oh,
have to-
thinking it. Yes.
And that was a
Right.
good slap. That was a very good slap.
Alyssa,
Good.
quickly.
I was like, oh, we have to do it again. One more time. I didn't get it right. We got to do it again.
Very quickly, we believe you were approached about being part of Housewives. Yes. Beverly Hills.
Oh, yes.
Was it
I
Beverly?
was.
Please, would you do it?
Well, so I don't really watch I shouldn't say don't really. I don't at all watch the shows. And so, but I did really consider it. And the problem is I live in San Francisco and I would have to live in LA, and we've had to fabricate all these things. I couldn't take my daughter out of school because they wanted the whole family. And I said, well, I can live there and they can come visit, but it didn't make any sense. So I don't know. But I guess if I you know, since I don't watch them, I feel like I would be like a fish out of water. But maybe that's good.
That's always a good thing. Always a good thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
We remain hopeful. We remain hopeful. Listen, thank you so much, Elisa, for joining us on the 6 o'clock show. What an iconic person for an iconic movie. Thank you so much to chat to us celebrating 30 years of Clueless.